Aloha, everyone, and welcome to Java. Thank you for joining me. Again, this is for Tuesday. It's March 19th, 2024. First, thank you all very kindly for being here. I do want to put out a quick word. I've got this up here about the Alan Greenspan ban. Most of you know that he's in here and had to create another profile. So thank you kindly for doing that and joining us again. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because it seems as if it's closing in a bit more. I have to really watch what's going on. I've noticed a lot of my comments are not showing, and a lot of your comments are not showing, and I'm having to find them in the back end. So if you put something down there and I don't respond, please feel free to reach out to me directly or try to comment again, because I noticed it's tightening up quite a bit. I don't know what the push is here or whether it's testing of their AI, maybe running it through there. However, have noticed that, so please pay attention to that. If you notice you're not seeing the videos, please make sure you are subscribed. I really appreciate that. So with that, let's go into the markets. So thanks, Alan, for creating a new profile and coming back. So we've got our main risk indicators are rising. At this moment, we've got the relative strength in the dollar and the 10-year yield kind of right at a level where they're consolidating. They are a bit high. However, we had stocks kind of close in the green yesterday. Futures are not agreeing right now, kind of showing in the red. And in general, with what I was looking at this morning, I haven't done enough of my charting yet, but it has a weak feel to it. So I just want to, don't normally trade off of feelings. It's off of probabilities, but I'm seeing them change. So I just want to put that out there to have a little caution for today, because even though the gold price is down, it's looking like the fear trade is off. We've got greed still high. We are getting the Federal Reserve meeting starting today. We're not going to hear from them today. We expect to hear from them tomorrow. But just urging caution in your trade setups, particularly if you're going overnight with what we're going into tomorrow. And to say we've got oil recovering a bit, seeing some strength in certain areas like natural gas, but the volatility index is increasing. So just a little caution for today if you're going into that. Okay, we've got the calendar. Still not much for today on the huge end of things. We're all kind of still waiting for tomorrow, of course, for Fed Chair Powell. They're all making their rate decisions. So with that, we did hear from some other ones. We'll go into that in a bit. So we've got Xpeng reporting before open today. They did really well with their earnings. So that is the Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer, and they've been kind of edging out the US vehicles lately. They've got a price edge, and then also manufacturing. So tomorrow after the close, we're watching Micron. They're in the news a bit as well. We've got a lot of the larger holders in companies selling their stock, insider selling. So this coupled with a few other things, I just want to bring that to the forefront to you. So banking and economy, going into this, we did hear Bank of Japan. Basically, they did do their first rate hike in 17 years. And interestingly enough, I think this signaled a bit more confidence because their stocks rose off of this news. So I think it's an initial knee jerk because basically what they're doing by hiking is strengthening their currency, the yen. So when they strengthen their currency in relative to the market, normally stocks will drop. So we'll see how that turns out. Still hasn't really had its effect yet. Okay, so in other news, we had the world's largest pension fund looking at diversifying into Bitcoin. So this is also the Japan's government, their pension investment fund. So they're doing a diversification. They're doing basically 45 Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then an additional 10% other like USDT Tether. So I thought that was interesting that they're going into cryptocurrencies as far as an investment. Now, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies did retrace yesterday, but in what I'm seeing that is kind of falling back to falling into strength, building another platform. So as long as they stay above the 58,000 mark, basically, still not in major danger of coming anything back to me, purchasing, buying in opportunity again for the higher levels, or just sit it out. I'm not selling anything into this. So I'm long term. So all depends on your plan. If you're a day trader, none of that means anything to you. You may even go short for the day. So we had NVIDIA had their investor meeting. A couple of other things came out, and they've got a new chipset basically that they're coming out with. They started GPUs, which is graphic processing units, and they've got something they're making specifically for AI, artificial intelligence. And when they came out with that, their stock basically is having mixed signals with this. They've still got a bit to go, but we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. I'm not in NVIDIA other than a little bit long. I may be getting out of that soon. So just want to touch on a couple of things that are showing the underlying of what's going on. We've got automobiles have slowed significantly. So we're watching on the retail end for new vehicles are beginning to basically stack inventory on the lots. And what does that mean is that basically people started buying used cars and now they're kind of tracking down from there. So I spoke about this yesterday, but now they're talking about the loan defaults beginning to increase. And with that, that causes more issue for the banks because they've got the commercial real estate loans, now they've got automobile loans, and pretty soon they're also going to be facing the credit defaults for the short term pay as you go and also credit cards. So outside of the markets, we've got an interesting story that came out. We've got solar eclipse coming across the United States. And several states are giving out warnings for people to stock up on food and gasoline ahead of this eclipse. And what they're saying is that it's due to the crowds, but they're telling people to stock up for at least a couple of weeks. So I urge people to stock up anyway. And I'd like to know if you think there's something else behind this. If you do, leave it in the comments. It is a little bit more interesting. They're also talking about mobilizing National Guard for the crowds. So we just had a solar eclipse not that long ago, which I actually traveled to the western US to catch that one out in Nevada. It was beautiful. And I will be going to this one as well. However, this one they're treating a bit differently. So if you got a thought on that, let me know. I wanted to bring up one other thing. If you have not heard of Havana Syndrome, it's basically in regards to what happened to a few people at the United States Embassy in Havana got very ill. And what they were tracing it back to with the symptoms, they had a very difficult time tracing what it was. So they're saying there were no brain injuries, but it looks like it was near form, intense energy signal that disrupted a lot of systems. So basically, like direct energy weapons, but in a local level. And I just think this is something interesting that I came across. I have to say that this is my opinion so that I don't get another flag. However, if you would like to look this up, might be something interesting in your spare time, not necessarily in line with the market. So with that, I would like to wish you a great trading day, a wonderful day in general. Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Jacob. I really appreciate you coming in with that yesterday for everything you guys do. I appreciate you. So until I see you again, my friends, stay free.